Welcome to the Quantum Empath. I'm your host, Kelly Michelle, intuitive guide, alchemist, and reality hacker. This is a space where esoteric knowledge, ancient wisdom, personal development, and quantum physics meet to help you shift your frequency, break old patterns, and step into the life your soul came here to live. Let's expand your awareness, upgrade your energy, and create your dream reality, one episode at a time. Let's begin. It is fairly common knowledge now that I have started a podcast. I have put it out on TikTok. I have posted it to my Instagram linked tree, and I have told several of my friends. And the reason why I waited a little while to let them know is because I think we have a tendency to let outside opinions tell us if we should move forward or not. Because when we are getting approval from our friends, when we are getting approval from our family, they are not necessarily privy to the conversations that you have with spirit. They aren't privy to the dreams that you've scripted in your journal. And when you are trying to create your reality, I think it's really important to do the work within first. And then once you do the work and start to believe in yourself, there's going to be a certain level of people in your group that aren't going to support you. And they're going to have an image of you as the thing you were when they met you. That's the identity that you have been to them. And so when you start to recreate your identity, when you start to go within and clear out the limiting beliefs, when you start to acknowledge that you have been programmed and you have decided that you are going to reprogram yourself, and you're going to start believing in yourself. The funny thing is about this is a lot of people might think I've been brainwashed. A lot of people might see what I'm doing as crazy. But the thing that I feel like I'm doing is brainwashing myself to try loving myself for a change. How about I try putting boundaries in place for a change? What if I tried something that was scary and it worked out okay? What if I'd stepped through my fears? What if I started believing in myself so much that I became somebody who could help people believe in themselves, but I became that all over the world? that was interesting. Something that has been propped up against my wall just fell in that moment. And I don't know why it would have done that. If I had my pendulum, I'd say, was I supposed to edit that? But I think when we come into the world, we are a pure vessel of our soul essence. And then we have our parents, we have our grandparents, siblings, church, school, society, friends. And in that first 7 years of our life, when we are in this theta brainwave state, we are susceptible to every single piece of data that is being put into us. We're susceptible to being the thing that we are when we're 7. And if we stay in that program, 555 on the timer, if we stay in that program of lack, my mom was poor and therefore all single moms are poor. I wanted to live in my lack story because, to be honest with you, that's what I knew. And so there were other things that were programmed into me. It was programmed into me that I couldn't do math, that I would never be good with finances. I was someone who was a peacekeeper in the house. I would smooth things over and make things better. I was a fixer even when I was a kid. And then I grew up trying to fix everyone else. And the interesting part is you don't fix other people. You fix yourself. And then the light that you will then create will become something that will help others remember and relearn, reprogram, and shift their inner lives too. It's an inside job. And this morning, I was on social media, and there's somebody who follows my channel, and they have a mask on their face. I don't know who this person is, but they send me videos of being censored, and they send me videos of conspiracy theory type things, and really wanting to share this information. And I said, how long have you been doing this? And the response I got was, a long time, several years. And then I said, how long do you want to continue doing this? And they responded and said, you know what? I'm exhausted. Some days I can barely get myself out of bed. My body hurts. I have pain. And I'm just so tired of fighting. And I offered this perspective, and if I ever don't make this clear, you do you. You do you. I am here to support you either way. There's no judgment. But I said, what if you put the amount of fighting that you're doing for other people into yourself instead. What if you fought for yourself the way you fight for other people? Because at the end of the day, and you've probably heard this a million times, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I also said, if you're seeing my posts, it's because that is a message from Source saying it's time to lay down the sword. It's time to go outside. It is time to put yourself first. And this person was so grateful to hear me say those words and said, you know what? You're right. I'm exhausted. I cannot do this anymore. And so that is why when we are lightworkers and starseeds, we are here to help the collective. If you see someone who is tired, you can be their reminder. You can be the light holder. When we decide that we are going to step out of our own inner programming. It's interesting that when someone loves themselves, when someone chooses themselves first, it's interesting that the programming around that is that you're selfish. But is that really selfish? Because when you are so full of love for yourself and care for yourself and have joy and fulfillment in your life, you are a vessel that can hold so much joy and abundance and life force that you will then be able to just overflow that into everything that you do. And I had to step out of the programming. I had to reprogram my brain to believe in myself. I had to work through some really deep money fears, and I'm still working through those, but I also trust the divine. I had to learn how to tap into my inner guidance system. I learned to talk to my guides and my higher self. And that's faith, but it's also a little quantum, because in quantum, there's a belief that everything is happening everywhere all at once, and that all you need to do is tune into the frequency where that life is that you so desire. Tune into that frequency and you shall have it. So maybe that's the delusional part that your friends will see as you start to walk this path of believing in yourself. But when I walked the path, they supported me and they put me into my brick and mortar business. They put me in connection with the harmonic egg. They made everything I had written down happen. And then as I sat on my couch every day, waiting, making a reel here or there, They said, "Psst, how long are you going to play small? How long have we been telling you to share your voice? And you're still playing small." They gave me a little audience on Instagram. They gave me a little audience, a couple hundred people. On TikTok, they gave me more. They said, start the podcast, because they know that there are so many other earth angels out there who are working these service jobs, who are like you and I, who just want to have peace in the world, and you're being in service to others, or you're somebody who has done the grind and you got your financial success, but then you're exhausted because you don't have anybody to share it with. And it's lonely at the top. And I think at the end of the day, if you hear this, it's because we are part of the same collective. We are part of that same energetic electrical cord. And if you have ever cut open an extension cord and looked inside, you'll see all kinds of different wires in there. Some of them are colored, some of them are copper, a bunch of different things in there to make this one big fat cord. And that's how I see it. Energetic alignment. And we sign up as a collective to come here. And it is my belief that if you are part of my collective, that doesn't mean that my wire is any better. It's just that each wire in that cord is meant to harness energy in a way that none of the other wires can. And that we are all part of creating something that will be the life force energy for something greater than us. So it starts within. It starts with believing in yourself, boundaries, energetic protection, energetic hygiene, who you are at the core, behind the layers of religion, government, family, friends, but who you are at your core soul essence, the one that signed up for this life and signed up for a bunch of lessons, and you're ready to alchemize them into gold. And a lot of people say, turn your pain into purpose, turn your pain into purpose. I want to help empower people, and I really am not a fan of telling people what to do or what they should do. You should do this. You should do that. I feel like that would be more programming, and that's not my goal. My goal lies in asking questions to make you think in a way that might help you see beyond what is running your program? Because when you become aware of, oh, that's interesting, I never looked at it like that before. I have this intake form that when people come to me for the first time, I ask them, what's your default emotion that you're feeling right now? What's your biggest stressor in life? What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing that is just for you? And it's amazing to me how many people can't really answer that question. What do I do for me? Should be easy to write down. But because when we are constantly being in service to others, we put ourselves last. And so we end up doing the hobbies that our friends enjoy, or doing the hobbies that our partner enjoys. And we do what is good for our kids. And I get it. I've been there, I've done that. And I learned the hard way that when you put everybody else's needs before you, that you become so drained and so empty that eventually you're just going to implode. You're going to want to leave your life. You're going to want to leave your husband. You're going to want to just crawl in a ball and hide because you're exhausted. And I would like to offer you this one thing, to give yourself permission to love yourself. The way that I started with loving myself was by using affirmations. I would listen to affirmations when I went on my hikes, when I was working, whenever I needed a little reminder that I am okay, I am perfect just as I am, and I am in the perfect place that I'm meant to be. And it's just a little bit of a reminder that when your cup is so empty, your vessel is dry, that life will start to feel like you're just existing. And if you're at the point where you feel like you're just existing, I want to offer you this encouragement. You can indeed refill your cup, but it's going to require you going within and not outsourcing every ounce of energy that you have to everything outside of you. And just like the water in the cup doesn't replenish itself, you have to pour into your cup. So think of your joy, your hobbies, your activities, your self-care as the thing that is going to fill your cup. And when you have filled your cup, then I give you permission. No, I'm kidding. I don't give you permission. You'll give yourself permission. You'll know when you can pour into others and not feel drained. And it will feel easy to pour into others and not feel drained. This took me a while This took me probably 4 or 5 years. I feel like I'm closing out this 9-year cycle, and I believe that even that 9-year cycle that I'm closing out is when I left my marriage. And going into 2026, it is my vision that because of the work that I've done, that what I have achieved and the information that I have learned has all been for the reason that I started my business in the first place, and that is to help other starseeds, lightworkers, earth angels get back on their path. You are a lighthouse. You are a divine spark of source energy, and you are here to shine a light so bright that it helps uplift the collective. And I know the right people will find this, and it'll make sense. And I'll be here as long as you need the encouragement, but eventually I hope that you outgrow me. I hope that you stand on your own 2 feet and shine your light so bright that we're on this collaboration journey together, and that we're sitting side by side on this mic together. So I'm going to leave it with that. If you are somebody who feels called to work with me, I offer a 6-week one-on-one, the Empowered Empath program. It includes coaching. It includes energetic cleansing in the harmonic egg. It will go through and recode your nervous system, your chakras, your ancestral line, your past lives, your current life and childhood. And then there will be a week that you will integrate all of it. It will include online coaching with me, unless you're in Reno, and journal prompts. And I've had several people who have said, "Oh, I wish I was in your area." Well, the thing is you don't need to be in the same room as me for this to work. Just like my voice travels to you now, the harmonic egg scalar waves will travel to you. I've experienced these for myself. They do work remotely, and I'm actually running a 6-week session on my kids, and they are responding to the energetic frequencies really well. I'm seeing more kindness, patience, pep in the step. It's really amazing, actually. But I will be a resource in whatever way I can. Voice notes, questions. I was somebody who thought I wanted to work with groups of people, but I really feel called to work with people one-on-one. I love working with people one-on-one because in the work that I do with the Grabavoy codes and all of my different charts, I can find energetic blocks, and what's draining your chakras and what trapped ancestral emotions are hindering your progress and what's holding you back from your past life. And this is a tool that Source downloaded for me to put all of these perspectives into one container. And what I know for sure is that this is changing lives, and I couldn't talk about it if it wasn't. You can find me at www.staytunedsoultherapy, SOUL therapy.com. My empowered empath program is there, in person and remote. And if you would like a one-on-one discovery call with me, that is also an option. Thank you for being here, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.